Hi everybody, I hope that you're all doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. There's a sense of there's a sense of inner conflict that you're feeling, and you are being encouraged to find a way to settle this within you. So this is about being patient, being compassionate with yourself, working through this time that may feel difficult, rather than like running away or trying to dismiss it or diminish it in any way. It's about really figuring out what's going on. When we have a sense of inner conflict, it comes from a place of there being two of something. It comes from a place of duality. And this is about getting like these two sides to synthesize in some way. This could also be translating as you being at odds with somebody in your life too. It will be a reflection of what's going on internally that you would be seeing reflected externally. It seems like this is also something you're going to move through quickly. The more you try to work with this and the more patient you are with yourself, the easier it is moving through this, and it's probably going to be faster too. For some of you, this is a relationship that you're working within, that you're trying to prioritize working together with this person. There's a plan for you guys to work together, to meet up, or to be kind of getting ideas from one another. See, working together, there's something about collaborating in some way here, trying to figure out how to work the collaboration, how to prioritize the actual collaboration that's happening. I'm seeing a plan. It looks like there are a lot of choices that are connected with this. Needing to talk about what it is that you're trying to manifest here. You may feel like there's something you want that you don't have access to right now. Also, too, before you could have been in a spot where it's like, I really don't feel like I'm making much progress at all. And it seems like this is something that you're moving beyond now. Or you could have been limiting yourself in some way, or avoiding making a choice that you needed to make. There's a decision or an announcement that needs to be made about this new beginning of yours, this new chapter of yours. Whatever this thing is, it seems like you feel quite connected to it. And because you're connecting with something that you genuinely feel touched by, you move into a place where you feel a sense of fulfillment, a sense of happiness. This new beginning looks like it's connected with you being connected with love in a general sense, you being connected with your connection with yourself, with your guides, with spirit, with those around you. Feeling like you're carrying that within your heart. And because you're touching this, it seems like things start feeling very happy around you. Even when you're going through tough times, it's like there's this place within you that is safe from all of that. Like the world can't touch it. That's not to say that this has been easy, because I'm seeing you've been through some stuff that's been quite painful and quite difficult and had you feeling like you didn't want to have your heart open, or you didn't want to connect because of just like maybe the cruelness even of what you'd experienced. This seems like a lot of like renewal energy, cleansing energy, and you focusing on your pursuit of happiness, which is maybe something that you're beginning to see in a different light than you had been seeing before. It's like when you're small, you think that happiness is a lollipop, and in some ways happiness is a lollipop, and as we get older, there can be more of a sense of depth to it. Things become more complicated and intricate, and it seems like if you had been going after things before that were happiness in a worldly sense, and always feeling like, why do I have this now, and I don't feel any happier, or I thought this thing would be it for me, I thought like if these people could come together in this way, or if that person would like start taking out the trash every night, whatever it was for you, it seemed like something was not going right, or you just felt like there was this thing that you kept reaching for, that it was like, how do we get there? What is the solution for this? How do we solve this problem even? And now, because of you changing your perspective and really seeing the 10 of Cups in a different way, which speaks about us feeling a sense of like peace and happiness and like true joy that we feel of being here and being very appreciative of the things that we have, grateful, a state of bliss even it can be. Now, because this is something that you seek in a spiritual sense, it changes even the way that you go about doing this. And it becomes available to you. For some of you too, this also had to do with your relationships as well. And this may be something that you're seeing differently. All right, we're looking at Neptune next to Aquarius here. Aquarius is the first zodiac out. Yeah, this is a healing perspective that you're seeing things through. It feels as well like there's something about your perspective that's so different now than it had been. I'm even seeing somebody that was like on one racetrack, and now you have been like elevated to a different one. Like your consciousness is, you're also accessing it on another plane now. So it's not just like the world and what is physically right in front of you, like this water bottle or this container, you know? It's seeing things and sensing things and feeling things and understanding that if you have something going on spiritually that you are needing to address, a worldly solution is not going to be a viable solution for you. And so I'm seeing this become something that you have been looking to sort through. I saw 844 when I looked up at the time. Whatever this is, you have accomplished this. When it came to needing something to click, needing to understand something, understanding your place among like even your feelings as well. What is your relationship to your feelings? What is your relationship to your happiness? And what is going to bring you a sense of happiness? You being you following your dreams, you moving in alignment with love, and you bringing that into all of the collaborations, all of the people that you are working with, and understanding too, the people that come into your life, it is no mistake. Every single person is there for a purpose. They all have a function, every one of them, especially the most difficult ones. Especially the ones that bring about big things from you. The people that move you in some way. Whether you like the way that they move you or you don't particularly like the way that they move you. It's all there for you. All of it. But there's even something more personal here that's going on that I'm seeing. And it seems even like your relationship with your emotions and maybe how you see happiness has changed. There's a different understanding of it that you have now. Because I even think about like commercials that you see on TV or movies that you watch where it's like you see people with like a particular car, or they have a certain job, or they have like a partner, or whatever it is, that it's like people trying to sell you a dream and all of that. And it looks like there's been a lot of deprogramming. There's been a very big shift that's been going on with you, where like what this means to you is different than maybe what you had been like trained to see it as when it comes to this sense of happiness, and like what that's going to take for you to feel a sense of fulfillment, and why you hadn't been feeling it before either. It's like I'm getting this whole thing going back to like if this person were different, or if that situation had been different, or like if my parents were different, like whatever it is for you that you were wishing for things to be anything other than they are. And now there's this sense of, let me move into this within a state of acceptance and love. Like, how can I love the most within these situations, especially in these hard situations? It's not just the ones that where it feels easy to cultivate a sense of love. It's the ones where we feel frustrated, the ones that don't feel easy to us, the ones that pull on our heartstrings, the ones where we feel sad or where we feel offended, you know, stuff like that. The true testing ground. And can we like maintain the sun? Can we maintain the love within our hearts in these situations? And I'm getting the first main step to this was about you listening up and hearing what your internal guide was moving you towards. Where was that compass pointing, and were we listening to it? Because the less like you're fulfilling your own dreams, the more you're going to be looking at other people who are fulfilling their dreams and their destiny and be like, I want what they have. And it's not that, like, if we break it down, it's not that you want those things, it's like you want your own things. You want to move in the direction of your own path. Because it's not those worldly things that the person has, it's them being in alignment. That is what the seeking is for. That is what you move towards. That's what's calling to you. That's what speaks to you about those situations. So now you're like, I get it. The answer is not going to be anywhere outside of me. It's all within here, and it has been the whole time. And that means too, it can be like moving out of situations that we're in. It can be like quitting certain things or canceling certain things and striving towards other things, taking chances, delving into the mystery, trusting where you're led, trusting where your intuition is leading you, uncovering who you are. I'm seeing you really feel like you are now on the right path and feeling like you had, I'm getting a Goldilocks reference, like all of the different beds that felt so uncomfortable, or the different porridges or soups that weren't right, and now you finally feel like you found the right thing for you. And so it's about traveling upon that path now. You have manifested this new beginning for yourself. And it's only come because of you being willing, you being open to expand your perception, your perspective. Because it's not the world that changes, it's you that changes. Your understanding of it. I'm hearing this has been a long time coming. Some of you may be trying to figure out what you're meant to be doing with what you have. Like, all of us have different things that we do, different things to offer, and you may be trying to figure out, like, what does that mean for me now? What am I meant to be doing? What am I meant to be sharing? Maybe even wondering about your purpose as well. Because I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, okay, so I'm here and I feel like I'm meant to be doing something, and I understand that it's not just like the things that I see right in front of me now. I understand, like, I'm here for a special reason and that there's a purpose in all of that. Like, I'm seeing this be very much a stepping into this role of the star where you're understanding your uniqueness and that there is something individually for you to be doing. And you may be at a spot where you're like, okay, so I get that I'm special, right? Like, all of us are special in our own ways. So you're understanding how you are special now. Now there's this sense of like, so what do I do about that now? Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? And you may feel a little bit ostracized because of that now, a little bit separated, a little bit black sheep. Not that that may be something unfamiliar to you. However, there's this sense of really feeling like you're getting to know yourself now and being like, well, what do I do in the world with that now, though? What am I supposed to do? Continue working on self-love, self-esteem. Interesting that this is coming up. Some of you may have something going on with a motherly figure. It can be a feminine figure within your life. Can also be your feminine energy too. Remember, all of us have masculine, all of us have feminine. Has nothing to do with gender. There's something here about feeling like you want to show up for yourself in a particular way and maybe feeling unable to do that for some reason, or take care of yourself in a certain way. There's also something about, for some of you, feeling neglected by somebody that you saw to exemplify feminine energy, that maybe you had a connection with or had some sort of responsibility over you within your life, and still feeling a sense of hurt about this. Which may not feel directly like her. It may be a confusing thing too. Because it's like, why is this still there for me? What's interesting about this is that as much as you may be seeing this play out or had played out with somebody within your life, this means right now that there's something about your feminine energy that you're having a hard time accessing. Because remember, it's always like what you're seeing externally is also something that is happening internally. It's happening internally first and foremost, and then you see it mirrored outwardly. What you're seeing outwardly is like an echo. It's like a replica of what's going on internally. So even though it's just like one system internally, you're also like playing off of that externally, where you're playing an aspect of what's going on internally, and what's going on externally is like another aspect of also what's going on internally. It's like you are the projector for the movie that you are watching, and it's a movie that's happening inside. And what your eyes are catching is like the film playing out live. Something from the past and feeling hurt. there's a sense of feeling hurt about the way that somebody entered into your life, or even what they brought into your life. Because you could have felt like this person brought a lot of pain into my life, and they could have showed up in a way where they were like promising you things and being like, hey, you can trust me. And then it's like, I'm seeing this as something that already happened. I'm seeing this be somebody from the past that you have a connection with. You could have been in a spot looking for somebody to come through, and still, when this person came through, you were in a spot where you were not yet like completely taking care of yourself in some way. And this person came through making promises to you and actually like brought their own heartbreak with them. And this was something that really played into yours. Because I'm seeing somebody similar to you in a way. And I'm seeing somebody that like may have even appeared promising when they came through. And they just kept bringing you these repeat cycles of this thing that you had been experiencing, maybe from the time that you were small too. This could have been somebody that modeled a familiar dynamic to you that you may have like grown up within or seen growing up, stuff like that. An energetic repeat. Somebody that definitely brought you back into the past with them, for sure. Seems to like this is giving, but I'm getting like this has to do with a strong feminine energy from your past, and this person brought up those themes, whether you were then the feminine energy within this, or this just triggered something from your past for you. Either way, and I keep getting this with the Five of Pentacles, there was like somebody that in some way had been responsible for you and feeling like they had neglected you in some way, or neglected their duties, or like weren't able to show up for you in the way that you felt they were meant to. And then this also impacted you and your relationship with your feminine energy, especially in a worldly sense. So this could have been things when it came to like you taking care of yourself, could have affected self-care in some way, could have affected self-esteem, anything related to earth energy and the earth houses is what I'm seeing here. And then it was like this person came knocking at your door, this other person, and it's like they kicked around these similar themes again that you experienced. So it kind of like brought the past back up for you. What's miraculous about this is that as much as it could have been terrifying, because it's like, why are we repeating the same thing again? Like, I thought that I was over this, or whatever it was that you were feeling, this is actually an opportunity for you to heal the past by having this be brought back up again. You get to basically redo the feature, redo the play. So yeah, I'm seeing you work with someone, and there's a focus on you being like, I want to bring love into this, but I feel like I can't in some way, or I feel like it's really difficult for me to do this with a sense of love. I feel like this particular situation with this particular person, it is very hard for me to like bring the best of my energy into this situation. It's like feeling this lacking. And I don't know if this is like you not feeling great about yourself, or you not loving yourself, or, well, you not feeling like you love yourself, or feeling the love or the connection. There's something here about you feeling like you're separated from love in some way, and like definitely would be a reflection of the connection with yourself, but you may just be recognizing it as like having a hard time bringing love to the doorstep of this person that you've been working with, and trying to figure out how to do that, and also how to manage that when you're like, I don't even think that it's existing within like me working with this person, so where am I going to pull that from? And this is like bringing you back into the past, like, you know what, if I don't know what this is for some of you. It's like, if my mom didn't like do this when I was younger, or if like that lady teacher didn't do like whatever, or that person that was supposed to give me snacks after school, like whatever this is for you, where you feel like somebody that was in a feminine role did not show up for you, this situation I'm seeing is a trigger for you to be feeling that, in however, wherever this came from. And you'll know it too, because you're going back into the past and being like, if this didn't happen, if that didn't happen, or if this had happened differently than this other thing. So this is about pulling yourself out of that. It's about making peace with it. And looking at a situation through a lens of neutrality, even. Not being passive. This is about being neutral. Because there's something that you feel like there's a deficit within this situation because it's difficult, and it feels difficult because you feel triggered, you feel activated within this. But I'm seeing there also be an awareness of it, and you're trying to figure it out. However, you may be trying to figure it out from a space where you may be limiting yourself, and that's why it's hard to work this problem. So it needs to be reworked with a different understanding, with more hope, and also you not feeling like something was taken away from you. So there's a sense of needing to adjust and understand that within all of the situations that you experience, like all of them were absolutely for you. Nothing happened that wasn't supposed to happen. As like hard as that can be to hear sometimes, because it's like, look at all of this injustice, you know? That doesn't mean that it was or that it wasn't an injustice. And at the same time, there's also a sense of like, yes, it's all still happening exactly as it's supposed to. It can be that, and you can also still feel righteous too, if that's what you choose to do, you know? It's more about including and less about excluding with the perspective. So yeah, I'm seeing you make a plan with yourself in mind, feeling like you're doing something for you, and with your emotional state in mind too. And it seems as well like there's something that you may have felt, I don't know, hurt by within a situation and wanting to say something about it. However, as much as you may want to get something off of your chest, until you come to terms and do this work yourself, because here's the thing, if you have a situation with somebody and say somebody like lies to you or they cheat you in some way, like them doing that, that's that person's karma. Your karma is how you deal with that. So you had a situation where like your karma right now is to deal with this situation and figure out how to come to terms with it. Because I am seeing you like want to bring something up to somebody because you feel like, hey, I need to get this off my chest, or I want to tell them how I'm feeling, or like how they ruined this for me, whatever this is. Like there's definitely still a sense of like anger or animosity that you're feeling towards this person. Until you shift your perspective, until you can come to terms with this without wanting to blame another person or put this on this other person, regardless of what they did or they didn't do, right? When you can come to terms with this and move into a space of acceptance, that's where you have the new beginning to be able to heal the past for you. Otherwise, you're just going to be kicking up more dirt. So you can say whatever you want, but if you're not coming at it from a healed space, you are just going to be creating more hurt and more pain within a situation. And it's a natural thing to want to do too. When we feel anger, when we feel pain, when we like blame another person or try to put the onus on another person, it can bring a sense of relief to us, even if it's not in a deeper sense. But that can feel like the impulsive thing to do. Because it's hard to carry. It's hard to accept. It can be. Until you move into a space of surrender. But until this is acclimated to, is what I'm hearing, you are still going to be not taking full advantage of this opportunity that you have to heal the past for yourself. And to move into a state of acceptance and neutrality. Because if you're coming at this from a place of lack still, all you're going to be bringing to this person's doorstep is like perpetuating the pain. I will say this too. Our relationships with other people are the hardest things that we have to work through here on earth. So know that this is not easy. This isn't something where it's just like, oh, now everything clicks and it makes sense necessarily. It's usually a lot more complicated than that. It's a lot more complex. Situations are difficult. All of this stuff has been years in the making. But the more that you work at it and the more you try to like open your perspective and drop the judgments and lose the ego and all of that, the easier this is going to be to understand and to see where you're coming from. And also thinking about, what is the focus of the end goal for you? Like, what do you hope to accomplish by what it is that you're doing? What is your intention? Before you say something to somebody, what is your intention? Where is that? Because it's going to have a major impact on what's going to come out of your mouth. And not just that, and like what you are going to do, your actions in general. Not just that, but also how it's going to be energetically received by those that you're serving it to. Because there could have even been something where you were like, my healing journey is going to look like this, or my healing journey is going to look like that. And now something is changing as well with this. And it's like the more you're learning, maybe the more it looks differently than you had thought. And maybe the more differently you look than you had thought that you would. Because before there was this understanding of like feeling connected and moving into a space of feeling happy, and then something about the healing journey changes for you once you are in the midst of it. It looks differently than you had anticipated it looking. And maybe this is also having to do with shadow work too. Maybe you didn't realize maybe like how deep down or how far we were going with all of this, how much was going to be dug out, or even things that you were like, oh, I didn't realize that was still looming around there in the dark, like trying to fish these things out, you know, when you go down in there. And now it's popping up. But it'll be a thorn in your side until you deal with it, even if you're not cognizant of it being there. It's going to be something that will even come out subconsciously, energetically, you know? So this is about clearing all of that out and like purifying yourself through the process of it. Through fire, through knowledge, through light, all of that. Yeah, I'm seeing spirit be like, yeah, we got some more shadow work to do here. But I'm seeing spirit also help you, because I'm seeing like some obstacles that you're facing right now, because this may not seem easy. I do kind of get the feeling that this may have come up maybe unexpectedly. Like you may be doing a lot of work and be like, oh, I didn't think that this was still a thing for me, or whatever it was, and now it's popping up again, you know? And moving into a space where you're not getting caught up in judging yourself for this popping up again, you know? It's just stuff happening. It's just stuff happening. We don't need to judge it. We don't need to put a value on it. It's just something for us to do something about if we choose to now. And this is also part of the healing journey. Just looking at Neptune and Aquarius, it may have some placements in the 12th house, Aquarius placements in general, Neptune aspecting Aquarius. All right, my friends, we're going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.